Church? I just came to visit all of you. I wasn't ready yet. Oh, son? And welcome to Stockton. It's not on. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in for SUM Stockton. We'll be right back. Seriously? Okay, we got it. Yeah. You guys right? Nah. All these stories are. Yeah, go ahead.
Father God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for your grace, your mercy that was new to us this day. And Father, we just ask that you would bless us on today. Word the mouth of our speaker, give him what to say and how to say it. Ready our hearts, let our hearts be receptive and open to be elevated through your word. And Father God, we just thank you. We thank you for this time of koinonia, to be together, God, as a cohort. We just thank you for what you're doing in this cohort. We ask that you continue to send us students, God, who have a mind to do the work of evangelism, God, for your kingdom. And we give you praise in Jesus' name. And we all say amen.
Amen. Amen. Praise God. Thank you for that prayer. Definitely going to have to. Thank you for that prayer, because you definitely must have something to say, because like you said, I'm not able to do what I planned to. But just thinking about that and listening to some of your conversations before we get started I would just kind of share with you where I've been and what. Wait, let me read the scripture real quick, and then I just want to have some kind of interactive discussion here. Yes, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, start with verse 23. And it says, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but not all things edify. Let no one seek his own, but each one the other's well-being. He whatever is sold in the meat market, asking no questions to conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and it's in all its fullness. If any of those who do not believe invite you to dinner, and you desire to go eat whatever is set before you, asking no questions for conscience sake. But if anyone says to you, this was offered for idols, do not eat it for the sake of the one who told you, and for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and it's full in all its fullness. Conscience, I say, not your own, but that of the other. For why am I able to be judged by another man's conscience? But if I partake with thanks, why am I evil spoken of for the food over which I give thanks? Therefore, whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do all to the glory of God. Give no offense, either to the Jews, or to the Greeks, or to the church of God. Just as I also please all men in all things, and seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. The ultimate goal of that, at the end of there, is right in that last sentence, Paul says that they may be saved. And so I'm just sharing something that's been troubling me, I think, in my spirit, is just things I've been reading. It seems as if to me, and this is interactive, so you can agree, disagree, but that the church, so to speak, or those who call themselves Christians, there's a difference between what saying that they're Christians and who the real church, of Christ is these days. And so, you definitely have to understand about a trial spirit by the Spirit, in these times. A lot of people use the term, and even if they understand, the terminology, or I should say the origin of term, is that it wasn't something positive. Christian, the term Christian wasn't something positive, something that we given to be derogatory, because those are those Christ followers. And it was because they looked like him in the way that they acted, they did the things that he did. And so I want to say here that if we were, and it kind of looks like this, let's pretend we're in court. I'm in the let's pretend that we're in court.
Again.
And I'll come out of it. So here we have the jury box right there, okay? And here we got the stand. And here we stand before Christ, you know, who is the judge, the righteous judge. So if we were on trial for being called his, would we be found guilty? Would you be found guilty, or would there be circumstantial evidence against us? Or would the words that we speak be used against us in the court of law for not telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You know, or is it that when we look at this and we talk about what does it mean for everything to be to the glory, you know, of God? And so glory actually the root means fame, it means majesty. And so again, it's not about feeling him. It's about lifting him up so that we make his name famous. We bring attention to who he is by lifting him up, by magnifying him, by glorifying him, edifying him, that people may see him, that men may be saved. So we're looking into this context here about not offending your brother and everything. We live in an age full of offense. I mean, full of offense. Someone looked at me this way, someone carried me this way, and that's to share with us. If you're not offended, then they're bad. They're offended, then they're not offended, you know, by what, you know, they're doing or you're saying. But I'm thinking now that, what does that look like for the Christ follower, for the believer? And I believe that there has to be the manifestation of his true nature in order that he is famous, that he is glorified. I actually believe that there's been a misrepresentation of who he is, therefore causing people not to see or to develop their own mindset of who he is, and therefore put labels upon the people that call themselves followers of him. And it hasn't been a very, I should say, glorifying type of situation. So what would be the things that you would consider to find you guilty of being a follower? I believe one would be belief. You know, that belief would be one of the things that they go to get you. Well, that person believes. Well, how is that belief measured? By what you do, right? Because what's important to you, sometimes you say, what's important to you, then you will do it. I don't know if it's important to you, then you will do that. You know, you will take care of that. So it has been a priority of the followers of the believer to make sure that all that they're doing is to the glory, to the fame, to the edifying of Christ. And if we were to have our own, I should say, checklist or checkpoint, what's left out of all? Okay, is there anything left out of all?
Nothing.
Okay, so
nothing is out of all.
So if we were to take our own self-inventory list, do you consult with him? Do the way that you spend your money glorify God? Does the things that you eat glorify God? Does the people that the way that you talk to people glorify God?
Are we just talking about today?
No, right now,
we can definitely take a sample size and say, day was a good day, right? And again, you know, circumspect, but it's like, you know, that focusing on, you know, on that thing. When we look at this and everything, the grace that he gives us is the empowerment to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So he gives us the grace to do. And so if we look at the normal example that was given to us, it was Jesus Christ, right? For the normal example. The most normality for Christian living that we have is that of Jesus, right? Follow me, imitate me as I imitate Christ. But how many have a hard time with that imitation?
Yeah.
It's most definitely a struggle.
It's definitely a struggle. What are some of those things that keep us from fully, wholeheartedly doing that?
Flesh.
Flesh?
Yeah.
Pride.
Football.
Right. Yeah.
Pride? That's a good one. And
Football season.
I like to put him right there, because what I'm seeing too is that the church believe that the world, when I was in the world, so to speak, I knew I needed God. I didn't want to accept, I didn't want accept the responsibilities of the things that I thought I had to do in order to that. And like when he was tugging at my heart and calling me, it wasn't that I was ready to give up. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying the world anymore. I wasn't like so really old, tell me it's that point, but I wasn't like, I was kicking. I was like kicking like, oh no, like something that has to change. I'm dissatisfied with where I am right now, so I know there's something more than this, something more to this life than this. And so, what I'm saying in that analogy is that it seems to me as if the church has become complacent and not believing that they need him as much in their world. You see that, because they'll tell you in a minute, I'm not ready, or they'll tell you, let me try to get it together. So the thinking is not there, I should say, for knowing that it's him in your life that helps you to do that. You can't do that within yourself, but it's more of an acknowledgement on the outside than it is for the ones that are sitting on the inside. And that pride is one of the areas to where we feel like we've arrived. Where we've got it. We don't smoke, we don't chew, we don't hang with those who do, type of situation. But what are the areas that we do fall in? Pride, thinking that we're better than someone else, thinking that we made it because we don't do that anymore, that the envy that's inside of us is okay, that the jealousy inside of us is okay, the fact that we are bad stewards over our money, our time, our talents, we think that those are okay because they're not as bad as what I used to do. But what have you transferred over into this account? Now that you're no longer with that bank anymore. What has been poured over, into this that is actually draining and making it insufficient your life that you live for him? Yeah.
Oh, the Bible talks about favoritism.
Favoritism?
Right, and it says not to favor. I don't know how many Pentecostals listen, but the Bible talks about how they favored. Oh, sorry, but they favored certain people, and the Bible says not to do that. And do we see that in the church today? I believe so. In some aspects, I even do it.
And to me, there's so many areas that we all have to say, and I would say the same thing. We were playing bingo and we put those things on the list. I'll have a blackout on my card because there's so many areas that you fall into. But that's the point that I'm making is that's why we need him the more. That's why, purify my heart, today. Help me today, Lord, in that needing it. Because what we're really doing, is so much to it. What I was reading is that we repent enough for the salvation, but we don't repent and turn towards. We don't turn away enough to turn towards so that we're walking in the power and authority of God. The thing that he told us to do, how many times are we hearing about the manifestations of the power of God within our services? How many times, how many people, I just asked a question, how many people went to service yesterday and there was a miracle of healing in the service yesterday?
My cousin showed up to church.
There was a miracle.
We did. We had it.
Okay, so last Sunday. Okay. All right. And that was great. So how many do you have for last year?
Right.
I'm in church every day because my mom.
Okay. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about inside the box?
Services. I'm not talking about like what you see every day because that's what yes it should be.
Right.
But it also should be the fact that it's not so I should say new that it should not be a miracle that it's a miracle.
Right.
Yeah, that should be our norm.
Right.
That should be our normality, it should be normal of that. But it actually has become that you hear, that you see, and when he said, go and lay hands upon the sick, and they shall be healed, when he said that he went everywhere and he healed, them, I know there's places, within his own, realm because of what they believed or didn't believe of who he was. But I'm talking about the church that we are now, that we come to, that we worship, we praise, we sing, we dance, we shout, we do all these things. But if we had the manifestation of the true power of Jesus, that what he was doing, you wouldn't have to make an invitation.
That's right.
We wouldn't have to make an invitation. We wouldn't have to go out and try to convince people to come. We would see people running to him because they would be like, this is what God did. You know, look at what God did. It would be something that would spread. You know, if we can go into our businesses and just the atmosphere changes because you come into the business. Or we can go into the courtroom and the atmosphere shifts because you have come, because you brought the presence of the Lord into that courtroom. If you go into the jail and it shifts, you wouldn't have to get a special license to start coming in there and permission. They would be calling, could you please come back? And so in this area, I just don't believe that we're falling into the all. Because if we're bringing the glory to God in everything that we do, I believe that selfishness and inwardness, even somebody talked about the corner where we were talking, is that when we have held God hostage to who he is because it's based on who we think he is,
Wow.
okay, that's where we come into, you know, pretty bad problems because we're saying here, you are God if.
That's an unhealthy marriage.
And when.
Right, you definitely irreconcilable differences.
Right.
We're saying you are God if, and then if not, it may not be in what we say, but like we're saying in what we do, now fix that belief there because you didn't do what I expected you to do when I expected you to do it, then guess what? Now, not only do I hold myself hostage within this, I just say within this sale, but I'm also withholding from the world what I owe the world, and that's to bring glory to God, to bring thanks to God, to bring the power down to earth. So I'm withholding that, keeping. Just think about what's inside of you to be able to release to others. You know, that comes in the form of healing, deliverance, you know, setting free, casting out demons. Just think about what is all inside of us that we're withholding from others because we are still waiting on what's supposed to be ours.
Right.
When have we come to this point of realizing, guess what? Today was a gift. It was a gift. He woke me up again today. It's a gift. Where do we come into the point of now I'm a gift?
That's right.
I'm a gift, you know, and, you know, you should be glad I'm doing this. And I'm saying these words don't quite come out of our mouth exactly, but in the things that we do, the way that we respond and act, oh, I got to go to school. Oh, I have to go preach. Oh, I have to go to church. Oh, I have to do this. When it's a gift from God, just that you're breathing anyway.
Yes, sir.
Amen. And so we got to this point now where we shifted this thing and now we make God our slave instead of becoming, you know, surrendered unto him and saying, Lord, not my will, but your will be done. So this is categorized in this thing, you know, just kind of in here is the all is the real focus of what's in here is do all things to the fame, to the majesty, to the lifting up of God. And believe me, whatever you're doing, even if it doesn't fall in that category, it's not lifting him up. Who is it? Right? It's all temple black and white. If it's not magnifying him, then we can magnify him. To do ourselves, right? And so the enemy is enemy. Right? So the thing is that we really have to, you know, understand how much we need him and how much we need, you know, what he has in order to come to that place to do what he's called us to do. So we need to shift, you know, that thinking about, I have to do this paper, I have to do this assignment. It's a blessing that he even allows me the mindset to think, you know, anymore. It's a blessing that I have health enough to get up and to go towards that class and to be able to see, to be able to hear, to be able to connect. It's a blessing that I am not like what I've seen before. When we talk about those who don't know, those who are still in the darkness. So it's a blessing. And, you know, there's something I used to say about counting your blessings and everything like that. But I really think we need to take inventory of why we're here and who he is so that we can just get stripped of these things, that pride, you know, that complaining spirit, And that amongst Christians really gets me. And I catch myself because I feel like, a lot. And if you want to say there's a reason, there's a reason. Yeah, we come up with a great reason, but should we? Even though it's not against the law, is it helpful? Is it edifying? Does it help that person? If I'm considering my brother, then what am I going to do to help that brother instead of complaining about that brother? What am I going to do to help that ministry instead of complaining about that ministry? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And if we get back there to there, Lord, what have you called me to do? And am I giving you my all to bring glory to you? Because if you guys haven't figured it out, you're not changing no one else. Look at that. You're not changing. He is, but you're not. So are you praying more about the situation, or are you complaining more about it? Yeah. Does that give glory to God?
Man, I just had this like nugget drop. I'm trying to eat it. Is it like you're talking about the work in ministry? Is it taking me off, or am I giving you all? Because if we're not giving him all, then we're only defecting from the purpose of God's intent for ministry. That makes sense.
Yeah. The one thing I'm learning really a lot in my class, my free class, is context. It's context of a word. Just not that it's just the word itself, but where it's placed, what meaning is going towards. And so, even listening you say that, is that there's other meanings behind the meaning. Like you say one thing, but there's some other meaning behind it if you put it into the right context, which we were learning this morning. Just the placement of a pronoun, basically in a sentence changes the whole sentence. And basically, that's what a lot of people have done. So, for instance, when the Jehovah's Witnesses say, well, they say be gods, just by, taking a piece of that and not taking it from the original context from where it was stated, because where it was placed meant something. So when you take that, you move it over, and I believe we're taking things so out of context that we're diluting the power that we've been given, to walk in. I think that's, all something like that. Oh, I think I was pulling up here at the time over here talking about talk less or something, listen more, something like that. But I believe every single thing that we need to get from God, we need to consult, we need to hear from Him, we need to be directed from Him. There's been too many mistakes, too many mishaps, and misreads. Misreads that we are definitely, and then again, just like holding them hostage to doing something for us, we're also trying to hold them hostage to the word we're creating out of the word He's already given. Amen. Love you guys.
Love you too. I didn't care about you.
Greatest.
I got to. I get to. It's my privilege.
That's it.
There you go. See?
Awesome.
That word is on the
You got the
inside.
word. You got the word.
That humility.
Amen. Let's give the Lord a hand for what He has done. That word is alive. Thank you, Pastor Curtis,
Yes, sir.
for your obedience. It was definitely confirming to the body of Christ what God gave you. So, like Grandma said, you have 4 words. Say the 4 words. Bam. Anything else after that is just you. So.
That's right.
So we appreciate that. Appreciate that obedience. All right, you guys. Well, we are on week 4.
Woo! Hallelujah.
She looks like she just got on a roller coaster.
Hallelujah.
Now, week 4, what that means is next week is
Midterm.
midterm.
Always first day of the trimester.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
That means we're halfway through
Oh,
almost.
that's 12.
Halfway through. So with midterms next week, what we're doing, we're changing things up. We're actually going to be doing our chapel. Will be via Zoom. So I'm going to send you guys the email this week for next week's Zoom on Monday, okay? I'll also send you a reminder text just in case. because I know some of you have memory problems.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
as I'm saying these announcements, go ahead and write this stuff down
Huh?
so that I don't get a text during the middle of the week. What's happening? What's going on? Can you tell me again? That's not what my office hours are for. My office hours are for assignments and any type of help that you need, not to repeat myself, okay? All right, so we're going into midterms. You'll be getting an email for chapel. Take a look at your emails. Make sure that you are logged in by, what is that? What do we do? 12 o'clock, right? So 12 o'clock on when we're doing usually our conference call is at 12, since you don't have to transfer anymore. So it'll be from 12 to 12:30 for your chapel on Zoom. Okay? Another thing I want to mention is our 21-day corporate SUM fast.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! That's going to be happening this Wednesday, September 21st to October 12th. So, yes, so that fast is your specific individual, whatever the Lord is speaking to you. It could be a Daniel fast, it could be a sun up, sun down, it could be an absolute fast, it could be a juice fast, it could be whatever, but it has to be food. It can't be you're fasting from Facebook or you're fasting from people. Okay. No, you can't fast from homework, right? Okay. It's got to be a food. Okay, that's the foundation of fasting. All right. If you'd like more information about fasting, this is our king of fasting. He stumbled upon fasting about 15 years ago. The church that we were in didn't even believe in fasting. They looked at him crazy, like, why are you doing that? It don't take all that. But, but can I tell you that was organic? That was something that the Lord was telling him to do. Jesus fasted, and we fast as well, right? Because we're made in his image and we do what he does. So just know we're going to see God work in you. Amen. We're fasting as a corporate group, but individually there's some things that you have to put aside so that you can be effective for the rest of the trimester. Okay, so when Chancellor No created this fast each trimester, it really is for us to get in line. Okay, not for God to get on our bandwagon and our complaint vote, right? But it's for him to have us draw closer to him so we can look more like him. Amen.
Amen.
All right, want to have you guys save this date, which is our Oakland Spiritual Emphasis on October 14th, Friday. We're all carpooling together. We want kids to come. We want them to enjoy and be Semites, okay? And let them know that they are loved by so many. They're just going to be just amazing. Yes, there. So lunch is provided that day. So that's going to be 2 days after our fast is over, so you'll be able to eat. Jesus. We're going to be leaving around 8:30 from Stockton, and we'll come back around 2 o'clock. Okay. So we leave right after lunch. It's on a Friday. Another thing I want to mention is about SUM Open House here in Stockton. Woo! We're getting some things together. We have several people that are interested in looking at SUM for the winter term and spring term. And so we want to give them an opportunity to hear a little bit about the school. And so we're actually it's going to be on a Wednesday night on October 19th. I'm still trying to finalize everything with that. Pastor Jack has opened up his building for that night. So thank you so much, Pastor Jack, for the ministry. We're looking at 5:30 to 7:30 or something like that. Is that what, okay. All right, 5:30 to 7:30. We also got confirmation actually today from Rochelle Sua. You guys remember her from Tracy. She's one of our SUM students. Unfortunately, she has to work that day up until 5:30, so she won't be able to come, but she's offered her services to make our flyer for us. So awesome. She'll be doing that, and we'll get those printed out so you guys can start to promote our open house, okay? Another thing is our financial aid checks should have arrived. If you have not received them, yes. Please let me know so that we can make sure that everything is working properly with getting you your funds and that the tuition is paid for this trimester. Last thing I want to mention is about practicums. A lot of you guys are starting to see this new program and you're starting to do the quizzes, but I just want to give you a quick reminder that Monday night are all quizzes, okay, except the chapels. That's when you're going to be doing manually putting in each chapel, 4 of them, okay? So one of them was today. And then on Wednesday are your practicums, Wednesday by midnight. So just make sure you do both. If you miss a week, it's not the end of the world, okay? You won't fail. But the thing is you want to stay consistent throughout it all. So if, say you miss 1 week out of 10, then that's like a 97, you know what I mean, out of 100 of your total grade. So just keep that in mind. Don't beat yourself up, but just get back on the bandwagon and say, okay, it's week 4, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure it's done if you miss week 3 or what have you, okay? And that's all that I have for you guys today. So I'd like to go ahead and, oh, you have an announcement? Okay.
Just want to announce some stuff that's going on here. We have Dr. Trent has anniversary appreciation coming up. And that is on October 9th, right?
Amen.
And it's going to be at 4 o'clock right here. So we want to share that with the cohort. Also, the grand opening for the Carpenter's House in Sacramento.
Amen.
With Pastor Kevin Church, their grand opening of their new building, a new facility is also November 5th, the first weekend of November at 3 o'clock. And September 24th is next Saturday is Love Stockton. Those of you who are available, that we will be helping out with the First Calvary Assembly Church, where they're going to be putting in their new park facility.
Woo!
And so that is going to be Saturday. I think you're ready to, do that. So let's talk basically all the pictures coming out from different church ministries and showing the love of God. And I believe too, to check on that there's some areas where in that same area that we do a drive-by, actually drive-through prayer. You know, there's a drive-by prayer.
I love it.
And anybody have anything else going on?
In their ministry.
October 1st, I just got a flyer for it, and it's community. It's a community outreach where actually men from the city who have hope and seen the day in Stockton with no more violence. They put together unity in the community, stop the violence cookout at Victory Park. It's a free event. They're going to have barbecue, face painting, jumper, DJ, and they're going to have a flag football game. But also, we do dialogue where we talk to each other, break off in groups, and we just suggest things that are in our minds, what we think and believe can bring change to the community. And if we fluctuate our thoughts into actions together, then we believe we'll see a day of peace here in Stockton. And that's October 1st. I don't think I got a time on that, but it usually starts about 12. Yeah.
All right.
All right, praise God, praise God. All right, Pastor Shin, do you mind just closing us out in prayer?
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, you're fine. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. God bless.